Hey.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Good morning, Dmitri.
Good morning, Frederick.
How are you?
I'm cold. And you?
I see. Not so cold as in Tiraspol now. I remind for those who didn't see our last video that you are owner of hostel camping in Tiraspol, which is the main town of Transnistria. Your hostel is called Red Star, isn't it?
Well, I will make some adjustments. We have two locations. One location is Lenin Street Hostel, and another location is Red Star Guest House. And we also provide tours around Moldova Republic and Transnistria.
So last time we had a conversation about the situation of energy. It's a crisis of energy in Transnistria from 1st of January after cutting of supplies of gas from Gazprom by Ukraine. So what is the situation now in Transnistria?
Since our last conversation, we have no change of situation. We still have no heating in the houses. We still have blackouts of electricity lasting between 5, 8. Some people have cuts of electricity for 10 and more hours every day. Some people have no electricity without notice because of the big number of the accidents on the stations, electric stations. So therefore, situations hasn't changed at all. It's getting worse. So that's the update for today.
Yes, and what are the consequences of this last of energy on the industry?
Industry is not working. Industry is not working. Everything stopped. We have only what is operating at the moment are the factories which are supplying some food and food products to the local society. These are the only plants and factories which are active at the moment. But they're running late hours, night shifts, and with a limited amount of resources, of course.
Because you have many industries in Transnistria.
All the major industrial plants and power plants, they stopped operating.
Okay, and shops are open. People can buy food.
Yes, supermarkets are open, operating as normal. It's warm inside. There is light. They don't have blackouts on their territory. So people can have access to food at the moment inside of the sheriff supermarkets, which is the only supermarket we have here in Transnistria.
So the head of Transnistria, Mr. Krasnoselski, had a meeting in Moscow with the Minister of Energy. Do you know the results of?
Well, first of all, he didn't have a meeting with the minister. He had a meeting in Moscow, and we don't know with whom, where, and how this meeting was held, and how did it go, and what are the results. Because 2 days ago, there was an announcement in the news, local news, that there will be gas in Transnistria, but nobody told the people when, what is the amount of the gas, who is going to pay for this gas, how long the new contract, if it ever exists, will last for, and what are the obligations of this contract. plus how the gas will be delivered to Transnistria. This information was not given yet to the local society, local inhabitants of Transnistria, Pridnestrovia.
Yes, but Mr. Krasnoselski gave a press conference 2 days ago. Yes. I read the transcript, which is available on internet. I will put the link with this press conference for those who read Russian in the description of the video. And during this press conference, Mr. Krasnoselski told that he didn't give the details of the agreement, but he told that this delivery of gas will take place in a humanitarian technical format. What does it mean?
Explanation was not also given to the society, because it can be described in many ways. Humanitarian, does it mean it will be for free at all, including transit and actual gas? Or the gas will be for free, but Transnistria or somebody will have to pay for its transit through many countries like Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania, and Moldova. We're talking about the right side of River Dniester. There are many questions remain unanswered. You can call this gas whatever, humanitarian or aid or just the gas or help. Who is going to pay for this gas at the last, as a final consumer? Will this be given in the monthly bills for the local inhabitants of Transnistria, or Russia will pay for this gas? I mean, even 2 days ago, we noticed in the news that a little segment of this Turkish Trans-Balkan pipe was attacked by Ukrainian drones.
It was in Anapa, the terminal of Anapa.
Exactly. Exactly. So we can, I mean, the politicians, they can promise anything. At the moment, today, on the 16th of January, we have no heating. We have blackouts lasting between 5, 8, and 10 hours a day, every house. But I have to tell you that not everybody is suffering now in Transnistria because of the lack of the gas. We have some houses and some regions of Tiraspol city where people still have gas for their heating, and they have gas for cooking, and they are sometimes having the blackouts of the electricity. Who are these people? I mean, we suspect these are not ordinary people who live in those houses, and some ordinary people just taking a benefit, being located on the same pipeline with those who were planning to have, even during the crisis, a good supply of the gas. Why? You would ask me why. The answer is very, very simple. Before January 1st, Transnistria could accumulate quite a big amount of gas inside of their pipes, but on the territory of Moldova. They could accumulate, they could squeeze with the pressure enough gas, which will last for about 20 days, as they promise, for people to be able to cook, and still some amount of gas which was accumulated on the territory of Moldova is now used for heating, but not for everybody. So I can see, I can
for
sense.
Who? For who?
God knows. But I can see that these regions of the city, I mean, the houses which are built in those regions are quite expensive. I don't know how it all happened, but not everyone is now equal in the face of this catastrophe.
On the left or on the right side?
On the left side. On the left side.
It's
in my house, I have no gas and no heating since
it's a geographically different.
It's a regional geographical difference inside of the city, inside of Tiraspol city.
Okay, understand. Did you see was published 2 days ago by the newspaper, Russian newspaper Conférence? Do you read it? That there are news following which the suppliers of gas will be provided by Transnistrie will buy gas on the European market, and this gas will be paid by Russian budget. Have you heard this information?
I heard this, but first of all, even Moldova Gas did not confirm officially that their satellite company, which we are talking about now, was signing any sort of agreements with Tiraspol Transgas, with the Transnistrian company. And this is more likely to be a rumor or an idea or plan B, C, D. It is not the only solution found. Because if it was, we would hear this already in terms of the confirmation that from the certain period of time, certain date, people will have heating back in their houses. Because the system is ready to absorb, to accommodate gas in Transnistria. The system is ready, and the people are eager to get this gas back. But as Vladimir Krasnoselski told us a few days ago, there are no details of the meeting which happened in Russia. And the meeting was not held with the minister. If it was, it would be officially recorded. With whom was that meeting? We don't know. I don't know. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, people are not interested in details at the moment. It could be with meeting with the president of Russia or with the president of United States of America. We don't need this information. It is winter and we need heating back immediately, as soon as possible, because the weather is getting worse every day. The temperature is dropping. So we now, during the day, have not plus 15 as we had at the beginning of the January. We now have +2, +3, and at night we have -8, -10. With no heating and with the regular blackouts lasting for 10 hours, the humanitarian crisis will not be just announced as the possibility. This will be happening in reality.
Yes, understand. Returning to this press conference of Mr. Krasnoselski, what was amazing for me is that he declared that he expected this crisis with lack of supplies, and he took measures in December. What is amazing is that, as you told last time, that Ukraine prevented that they will cut the transit the 1st of January, one year before.
2 years. 2 years before.
Oh, 2 years before even. So was not there the will to create an emergency situation?
That's a very good question. Still, I never received this answer on this question. I asked this question to some of the people who are related to the local governance, I mean, on the ground, like city administration. No answer. No. Ukraine, 1 year ago, Ukraine reminded again to all of its partners that there will be no contract and extension for the year of 2025. And still no measures were taken at all. At all. In December, what was taken as the measures to prevent the crisis, 2 weeks before the new year, they started to alert people and the society that we will have probably no gas from January 1st. And he told, Mr. Krasnoselski told that nobody can tell you before the December 31st if there will be gas or no gas from January 1st. We don't know. Nobody knows. This is recorded speech, and you can replay this. So what are the measures? They established a sort of emergency acting committee, which is now responsible, still responsible, to provide information to people where they can find the shelter, how to buy woods, where to collect woods, all these humanitarian everyday questions which are bothering people, and people try to find the replies on their questions, and they can call on this hotline. This is the only measures which were taken in December. Of course, they started to prepare the hospitals, kindergartens, schools, university, everything. But the only question I have now, why 2 weeks before the crisis? That was a big, if they would alert people, even in summer, even 2 months before, 1 month before, but please, in summer, autumn, when people can go to the forest, they can collect woods quietly in a normal procedure. But if it's happening 2 weeks before the cuts of the gas, what can you expect? People are not ready. It's already middle of the winter. It's already minus outside degrees. People were not ready. And that's a big problem.
Yes, it's a big problem, and not everybody can heat with wood, because
no.
How many people live in big buildings in Tiraspol and in Transnistrie?
Majority of the society lives in apartment blocks. Majority.
And there they can't heat with the wood.
No. It is impossible to heat with the woods. Impossible and prohibited to bring inside the gas barrels. It's prohibited by law, and now people check if their neighbors are. The government asks people, if you see your neighbor carrying inside of their apartment the gas barrels, please call the police, because this can be described, and it is a potential danger, because if the gas barrel will explode, this will be like a terror attack. So people are afraid, but what can they do? How to heat up the houses? Of course, the local government tells that you can buy the electric heaters and try to survive with them. Okay, the bill at the end of the month for the electricity will exceed many people's expectations. That's 100% sure. Because you cannot replace the centralized heating with the devices you install inside of your apartment, which are 2, 3, or 4. And it's worth to mention that the prices for the heating devices, they increased double or even more since the beginning of the crisis. So people are forced to buy expensive devices, spend most of their budget, and this is happening before the new year and right after, when people already spent quite a big portion of their savings for the celebrations, for the presents and everything. So, and in January, many people either were sent home from work or they were sent on forced holidays. So end of January, in February, the amount of the savings in people's pockets will be quite limited.
It's the terrible law of the market. How the people is reacting now? Is it growing angry about this situation?
People are afraid. People don't know what to expect tomorrow, because we are now living in the period when we guarantee, by default, we have blackouts of the electricity every day. People were told this will be continued at least 5 hours every day, in the morning, during the day, lunchtime, or in the evening. For example, today I will have no electricity starting from 5 p.m. till 10 p.m. I'm lucky I have the remote job, but those who come back from work at 6 p.m., for example, or they come back from the studies or whatever, before 10 p.m., they cannot cook food if they live in a house. They don't have heating. Total darkness, no heating, no food, nothing. Well, and they can do their normal routine after 10 p.m. Cook the food, clean the, wash the dishes, do everything after 10 p.m. And in the morning, they have to go back to work or go back to their duties. It's quite hard.
It means that people is working yet.
Some people. But many people who were working for the factories and manufacturers and power plants, they were sent home.
It's terrible. Thank you very much, Dmitri, for all these informations. I hope that many people will show our video, and let's keep contact to follow the situation.
Yes, Frederick, thanks a lot for your call. And once more, I would like to thank to all your audience and viewers and subscribers, those who pay attention on the situation we have now here in the middle of the Europe, on the door of the Europe, in Eastern Europe, in Transnistrie, in Transnistrie, in Moldavia. And those who happen to stay now somewhere close to Tiraspol, once again, I invite them to stay at the Red Star guest house, where we have the wood stove, which is right behind me. It's quite warm inside. Of course, you cannot wear the shirt, and only like you would have to have a pullover. But you have two choices: either you freeze to death in apartment blocks, or you have some fun here at the Red Star guest house. So thanks a lot for your attention, and I hope to see you soon if I'm not frozen completely.
I hope so. So I recommend your hostel, Dmitri. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Frederick. Thank you. Ciao. Bye-bye. Stay safe.